So this guy on the forums is asking how you can defend a 4-4-2 diamond, right? Okay. I don't know about you guys, but generally when I'm playing the 4-4-2 diamond, right? If you're looking at this shape, F9, Shadow Striker, AF, Curry, Little Meza, I'll try and recreate this tactic. Okay. But you have to remember something, right? When you're playing, like this is the blue, left to right is a diamond. Right to left is basically a 4-2-3-1. When you're playing a diamond, you're giving the AI or the opposition usually an advantage with 2 on the flank. So generally, you're going to be defending the flanks. If you're creating a diamond, you have to expect that. So if your roles, like if you have a Carrello who's going to operate in the half space like this, and maybe another one over here, there's going to be space between the lines. So the whole reason why we do that is so that they can support the fullback as he comes up, and you end up doing like a very cross-driven 4-4-2 diamond. Okay, so if you're gonna ask that question, how do I defend the flanks? With a 4-4-2 diamond, you are actually letting them have the flanks. So they can, you defend with the players that you have in the box, deal with the crosses. These are decent players, right? Okay. This is his tactic. Yeah, this is the tactic that this guy's created here. You gotta expect certain things to happen. One, first thing that you do when you want to create any kind of narrow system, it can be a 4-4-2 diamond, it can be a box. Get the right kind of players. Like this team has got good players, right? So far, it's doing nothing but dominating the flanks. Right? It's got a fullback on attack, which is actually a really good role if you want to play it safe, right? Okay. So you play it safe, you go fullbacks on attack because they're not stupid. They don't dribble with the ball and ask for trouble. Right. So if there's a person they can pass through, they will. And the thing is this, right? He's playing with Mazalas and Carreros. They're going to be in the half space. So if they're in the half space, there's going to be support for that fullback. There's no doubt about it. Plus, he's got side midfielders he can turn to. So passing is not an issue to go up the pitch. So he's got no issues going up the pitch. Option 2, you got a diamond against this team. Why don't you draw everybody into playing the pass inside? So when you go to this player, you tell him, you don't go down the flanks, you come inside. So you're encouraging all of them to come inside. Show him to his left foot, so he's showing him inside. Then you show this guy to his right foot, so he's showing them inside. Then on these guys, what we do is we tackle hard, and we tackle hard, and we tackle hard. Now, when they get the ball, what we're gonna do is we want you to come inside because that's where we want to break your legs, right? So you tackle them hard. So they're forced into not using the flank. So you use it with. So if you want to play a narrow system, what you do is you can use OIs to encourage them to come inside instead of using the trap instructions. Trap instructions will not do you any favors. The thing about playing a diamond is this. Okay, you want to defend the flanks. You gotta give them only an option to play through the middle, right? So that they don't go down the flanks. So you use OIs to do that. Then you hard tackle the guys inside. But more importantly, you don't want to give them an opportunity to counter attack you down the flanks. Because if you're going to build your play down the flanks, right? So you got that fullback, he's passing to one player, then he goes to another player, then you want to come inside to attack the player. What you don't want to do is give up the ball too easily. So your passing needs to be short. Your players need to be able to pass the ball, right? That's all you do with the 4-4-2 diamond. Because half the time it's going to be about whether I can transition up the pitch with the ball. So looking at his tactic, just the roles itself, you see what's happened? Immediately, right? We're using the OIs, we're forcing them inside because we're not giving them a chance to use the flanks. I mean, if you change your tactic for every single tactic that you face, you're probably going to run out of players very soon because you can't get that many players. What you do instead is you force the opposition to play to your strengths. You defend the flanks with the use of your OIs, your play instructions, making sure your players don't lose the ball unnecessarily. Okay, that you can fix by choosing the right players or the right roles, making sure that your width, for example, isn't too wide. Your players don't have to make these humongous passes. This applies to a 4-3-1-2, 5-2-1-2, any formation that doesn't have any wingers, right? More importantly, if you don't have players to play a diamond, i.e. you don't have defenders who got good jumping, reach, positioning, heading, concentration, don't bother. Because you are eventually, against better teams, you're eventually going to end up having to deal with the cross. And if your boys can't hit the ball and recycle possession, you're in trouble. That is my little help for all you guys who are struggling with a 4-4-2 diamond, right? So particularly our friend here, the false nine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with his tactic. I mean, the only thing I disagree with is the underlap. Okay. I don't really like the underlap. I mean, I honestly, if you want to play the underlap, you better have good players. Okay? So it affects the initial positioning of your fullbacks. The widest player holds up the ball looking for inside run. So you don't really need it, right? Okay, for a 4-4-2 diamond. What you definitely need are players that can actually keep the ball and pass the ball. And then start using, I mean, then you got to find all kinds of reasons not to use OIs. Okay, see this? We're going to have to defend crosses anyway, right? It's not like you can defend every single cross in a 4-4-2 diamond. The numbers just mean that you eventually will have to deal with the crosses.